there, this is Chris from Half Cab Studios bringing you more tips and tricks on production. If you like what you see in today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and let's just get into it. So today we're going to be going over fundamentally what a melody is and how to write a catchy song with one. If you have trouble just coming up with inspiration, writing a good melody, I have some tips and tricks I'd love to share with all of you guys today. And hopefully it'll just chip away at that writer's block. If you're familiar with music theory, or maybe this is your first time wanting to understand music theory, a melody is made up of notes within a scale. Now, a scale is a sequence of notes that you play within a key. So like say you're C major or F minor, these both have scales, but they're in different keys, so they wouldn't be the exact same notes, which I'll give some examples of what I'm talking about in a second. If you've seen my previous video on chords, which I'll link here below, chord structures have also major and minor functionalities. This is the same with scales and melodies as well. Now that we have that down, let's use this to write a melody. So I have an example here in a session where I worked with a client that didn't have any words or, any melody really written out for this song. So I'm just gonna pop into this session real quick. So yeah, I wrote out this whole song for her. She basically wanted something like pop punkish. So this is the instrumental I wrote out, just guitar, bass, and drums. So again, I wrote out the instrumental for her just to listen to, but what I like to do before they come in and track is I actually like writing out the melody, or at least somewhat of a loose melody that they can play with if they don't have anything already prepared for, in terms of if you want to move the track along or the session along quickly and smoothly. So basically I have this piano roll opened up with some MIDI written out already. We could take a listen to what I came up with melody-wise to help her kind of get some inspiration. So yeah, you can kind of get an idea of what I was going for there. If you notice in the first melody I wrote, I kind of basically written the exact same part for the second part on there, which this is a chorus, which I think is like, you kind of want something memorable. So if you have to repeat things, don't be afraid to repeat anything, like on melodies or words. I feel like those things are kind of, what you want in a catchy song. You want someone to like, it catches their ear, basically want to, hum along with it. If you have to repeat parts, sometimes that's what it takes. Another thing I want to point out is I did start on the key or on the root of the whole song, which is in C, but the fact that it starts on a different chord, which is a little bit more like, technical standpoint, it is on a different chord, but I'm starting on a different note than on the root of that chord. Sometimes people don't like that, to start on the root of the whole song or the key of the whole song on the downbeat. But again, there's no rules to this type of stuff. And again, with the chord, it was on a different placement on that. It's on the minor of that. So another thing I wanted to show was I actually wrote a little, I don't know if you noticed at the end, just that little part right at the end. There's a space right here, basically giving the singer room to kind of like let the band breathe or let the music breathe. So there's like an instrumental break there. And I think that's really, really good for writing, a catchy song. Is you don't want a whole bunch of stuff in the face, a bunch of overlapping vocals. It's kind of good to keep it simple and leave some breathing room for both the artist and, kind of envision like you're singing it to an audience. So let's listen to what it would sound like with words. So let's see that melody in action with the singer taking liberties and putting words to it on top of that. Here we go. I'm dripping off you. I'm dripping off your sweet honeydew. I see oceans of green. Eyes that rain and beam. So there you go. You got a catchy melody there. You got some breathing room. She started on different parts of the scale, basically to make a catchy melody with it. Again, a lot of these things, I just got to say, you got to practice this a lot, practice writing a bunch. But yeah, you can see really how it helps shine on a catchy song. Now, there's no right or wrong way to write a melody, but here are some do's and don'ts on how to improve writing a catchy melody. So do's, you do want to make the phrasing simple. You do want to formulate a pattern of notes, and you do want to repeat sections with that pattern. So those kind of go hand in hand, you know, kind of wanting to go back to that repeating thing, or just something that's, you know, easy to catch the listener's ear. On don'ts, you don't always want to start on the root of the note. That means basically like the first note of the key. Kind of gets a little boring there. Don't get overly complicated with jumping notes and overlapping words. Again, you're trying to get a catchy song. You're not trying to like write a crazy solo or jazz improvisation. And the last don't is don't be afraid to repeat words or even melodies in the same song to keep the listener engaged. You almost want to keep it like a story, basically. And it just makes it easier for the listener just to want to listen to it again rather than just like a bunch of madness out of nowhere. But again, a lot of these things you're not going to get, and you're not going to be able to study a book or something that's out there that gives you this kind of way of writing melodies. It's just something you have to constantly do. So I'm sure with enough, you know, practice and enough willpower, I'm sure you can write an awesome, catchy melody yourself. Thank you for watching this video. Again, my name's Chris from Half Cab Studios. If you like what you saw in today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more production content.